Welcome! In this video, we'll be exploring the DBT skill of problem solving. Problem solving is an essential skill in DBT, helping us to address challenges and difficulties with clear, structured thinking. Whether we're dealing with everyday stressors or major life crises, learning how to approach problems effectively can reduce emotional overwhelm and lead to better outcomes. Let's start by understanding why problem solving is so important. In life, we constantly face problems, some big, some small. How we respond to those problems can either make things better or worse. When we don't approach problems in thoughtful and systemic ways, we might react impulsively, get overwhelmed by emotions, or even avoid the issue entirely. These reactions often lead to increased stress and frustration. DBT teaches problem solving as a way to effectively address issues without getting stuck in emotional responses. It gives us a set of steps we can follow to think through a problem and come up with solutions that align with our values and long-term goals. Problem solving in DBT is broken down into a few clear steps. By following these steps, we can move from feeling stuck or overwhelmed to taking effective action. These steps are: identify the problem, 2, identify your goal, 3, brainstorm solutions, 4, choose, 5, action, 6, evaluate. Each of these steps helps us move from a place of uncertainty to one of action, giving us a structure. Let's start with the first step, identify the problem. This may sound simple, but it's often more difficult than it seems. When we're feeling stressed or emotional, we might lump together several issues or focus on the wrong thing. In this step, we pause and clarify what exactly the problem is. Is it a conflict with someone, a task we're struggling to complete, or an emotion we're finding hard to manage? The goal here is to be specific. For example, instead of saying, "I'm stressed about school," you might narrow it down to, "I'm feeling overwhelmed because I have too many assignments and don't know where to start." By identifying the problem clearly, you give yourself something concrete to work with. We also want to make sure we are checking the facts in this step. And this is to ensure that you have the right problem situation. Does the problem align with the facts? If the problem and facts do align, then move on to the next step. If they don't, we work the problem to make sure that you are identifying it clearly. Step 2 is to identify your goal in solving the problem. Figure out what needs to change or happen for you to feel okay. Make sure you keep it simple and choose something realistic that can actually happen. Step 3 is where brainstorming comes in. The key is to come up with as many potential solutions as possible without judging whether they're good or bad at this stage. Think of this as an exercise in creativity. You might come up with practical, realistic options like asking for help or breaking a task into smaller steps, but also include out-of-the-box ideas. Sometimes those can lead to an unexpected solution. The goal here is to generate a list of options, knowing that you'll narrow it down later. After brainstorming solutions, we move on to the fourth step, which is choose. This step requires us to think critically about the potential outcomes of each option. What are the benefits of each solution? What are the potential drawbacks? Is the solution realistic given your time and resources? How might it impact your emotions or relationships? Once you've evaluated the options, choose a solution. Keep in mind that no solution is perfect, and there's always a bit of uncertainty. The goal is to choose the option that has the best chance of success, even if it's not guaranteed to work. The fifth step is to implement the solution. This means putting your plan into action. If the solution involves communicating with someone, you set up the conversation. If it involves breaking down a task, you start tackling it step by step. The key here is to take action rather than staying stuck in analysis. Even if you're not entirely sure, moving forward is better than staying still. Finally, step 6 is to evaluate the outcome. After you've implemented the solution, take some time to reflect on how it worked. Did it solve the problem, or do you need to make adjustments? If the solution didn't work, that's okay. It's part of the process. You can go back to your list of solutions and try a different one. Problem solving is an ongoing process, and sometimes it takes a few tries before you find the right approach. The important thing is to remain flexible and open to adjusting your plan as needed. Now, how can you apply this problem-solving skill in your daily life? Start by identifying small problems you encounter, such as managing your schedule, resolving a minor conflict, or dealing with stress at school. Practice going through each step. Identify the problem, identify your goal, brainstorm solutions, choose, action, and evaluate. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes, even for larger or more emotionally charged issues. Remember, problem solving isn't about finding the perfect solution right away. It's about working through challenges with a thoughtful, structured approach.